Kick the feet out the door. God's doing a new thing. Yeah. Get ready for overflow.
Hello, Coach Ada. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. If you will, go ahead and share this broadcast so others could get on. Good evening, Coach Latoya. Going through training right now as we speak. Welcome. Cheryl Creech Graham, thank you. Naima Williams, hello there, darling. Thank you for joining. If you would go ahead and invite and share this video. We are going to wait a few minutes for some more to get on. There we go. That book maven, Robin Devon Nash. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining from the big state of the NYC. If you guys will go ahead, invite, share this broadcast as we will be talking about failure tonight. What is it to really fail, and are we really failing? We're going to talk about failing tonight. If you would invite, if you would share. Sharing is caring. How's everybody doing out there? Thumbs up if you're doing good. Is it still snowing in New York City? We're going to get ready to get started here in just a moment. We're waiting for a few more followers to come on, and we will go ahead and get started in about 2 minutes. We are going to go ahead and get started. I'm trying some new equipment, so I'm hoping that it is going to cooperate. Thank you, Connie, so much for joining us tonight on Monday Night Leading with Meaningful Conversations. I appreciate you. Invite, share this broadcast so that we can get other people to go ahead and join us tonight. We will be discussing failure. What truly is failure? We're going to be talking about that tonight and leading with meaningful conversations. Thank you, Joseph, so much for joining tonight. If you will go ahead and invite, share this broadcast with someone who would be able to benefit. Coach Cordelia, thank you for joining in from Florida. Rico, thank you for joining in tonight. Letitia, thank you so much for joining in tonight. Invite, share this broadcast. We are going to go ahead and jump in right now and get started. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I am Coach Shaniqua, and we are coming in for Leading with Meaningful Conversations. Every Monday night, we meet here 8:30 p.m. and we talk about things that impact us in our lives on a daily basis. True conversations that can help us, that we can be successful in living a fruitful life. So tonight, we want to discuss the conversation of failing. What is failing? Janine, thank you so much for joining. I see Tina Marie has came in as well too. Thank you so much. Invite and share this broadcast. Robert Kofi, happy belated birthday, and thank you for joining all the way from Ghana, West Africa. I appreciate you, man of God, if you would invite and share. So we're going to be talking about failing. So can someone put in there for the comment box for me, when you think about failing, what do you think about when failure comes to mind? Because many people have a different understanding or different definition, or they apply failure to their lives in different ways. And from that, it produces something. It produces a result at the end when they think about how they persevere or some don't persevere through the point of failure. And what we understand is that everything we do is operated under biblical principles and leading our lives in a fruitful way. So we're going to talk about failure in its truth tonight. So who can tell me about failure? When you hear the word failure, what comes to mind? Tamika said, let down, not good enough. You feel let down and not good enough. Anybody else want to talk to me about failure? What do you think when you hear the word failure? What absolutely comes to mind when you hear that word failure? Because sometimes we fail in execution, we fail in planning, we fail in staying aligned to the natural vision and the God-given this destiny, God-given destiny that we are destined to. We fail in follow-up. We fail in eating properly. We fail in having balance in our life. We fail in communication. We fail in details and trusting. And I see some people say defeated, letting one or yourself down. These are some of the things, and these are some of the common things that tend to come to mind in the midst of failure. Failure is inevitable for all of us. If anybody has ever failed at anything in your life, I need you to give me a love heart. I'm going to give myself some love hearts, because I know that I have failed at many things in the course of my doing, in the course of my growing, in the course of me moving to my next. If anybody has failed out there, I need you to heart it up. Tell me what it is. Yes, I failed. I blooped it. I messed it up. I screwed it up. I tore it up. The bridge fell completely down. Failure is inevitable. We will all face failure. And what we have to realize is that it is not what has happened to you, but it is what you do after it happens. That is the determination of whether it is a failure. Because things are going to happen irregardless. Things are going to come to distract us. Things are going to come to pull us away from our ultimate purpose. We're going to have situations where we may even connect with wrong people, not intentional, because I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and say, today on my to-do list, I'm going to go and hook up with the Wicked Witch of the West. And I'm going to go and hang out with her, and I'm going to go ahead and drink tea. I think that sometimes we fail to realize that failure is part of the course of success. I've never met anybody who hasn't failed in their life. And if you don't believe me, we wouldn't even have light today if Thomas Edison didn't fail multiple times at making the ability for us to have the light bulb. Or electricity. So what we fail to realize is that failure is inevitable. We cannot deny the fact that we will fail at times. We will fail ourselves. We will fail our loved ones. We will fail the process. We will fail the commitment. We will fail and fall. But this is the portion that I love, is that failure is the learning experience. And this is what gives us the wisdom that when God says, with all thy getting, get understanding, it will give us the ability to seek more, to understand more, to want to have a desire to learn more. And in the process of that, it gives us the ability to be helpful to someone else. Oftentimes, we don't look at the fact of what we're going through is not always beneficial for us. It's to the benefit of someone else. We become the seed to push someone else to their next portion of destiny. So one of the things we cannot do is fight failure. The more we fight it, the more we frustrate ourselves, because what we do is we try to become perfect. And perfect is the definition of frustration, because what you do is you try to live in this world that is not true. So you're not truthful with yourself, because you're painting this picture and you're trying to live in this picture that's not a reality. We will all fail. But the problem is we don't get up. And that's the question that I want to ask you today, is why are we not getting up? Jeremiah 8:4 says, to the people of Judah. Jeremiah was speaking to the people of Judah, and he says, if a man falls down, he gets up again. And if a man goes in the wrong way, he turns around and he comes back. We have the opportunity to go back to that vision that we put down. We have the opportunity to go back to that ministry that we turned away from. We have the opportunity to go back to that relationship that we closed the door on. And yes, somebody just said, I just closed my beauty supply store and it has me all in my feelings. Yes, those things will make us be in our feelings. And sometimes our feelings are not the truth. They take us on these emotional roller coasters that throw us, toss us to and fro. We be all over the place. And in the process of that, we drag people along with us. So we got to realize and stay true to the word and understanding that you have the ability to get up. The question is, are you willing to get up? Somebody say, are you willing to get up? We will fall. We will bruise our knee. But if you put the Band-Aid on it, if you put the Neosporin on it, if you clean it up, it will heal itself. Somebody needs to be healed from whatever they failed at before, recognizing that it's not your today. It was your yesterday. It's done. It's over with. The The question becomes, what are you doing right now? What are you doing in this moment? How will you take that failure? Because remember, it's not what has happened to you, but it's what are you doing after it has happened? What are you going to do today after it has happened? You filed for bankruptcy. So now how are you going to fix your credit? You had a bad relationship. So how are you going to learn how to have healthy relationships? You gained 20 pounds. How are you going to learn to eat better so that you can maintain a healthy lifestyle? Remembering that you can enjoy the fruits of success if you're sick. So you got to maintain balance and taking care of yourself that you're able to go along this journey in a healthy way. So you got to take care of yourself. So the question becomes, what are you going to do today that this failure does not become your option? Recognizing that, yes, you failed, but you don't have to stay in that position of failure. You have the ability to pick up your cross and bear it. I need somebody to say, I'm picking it up today, because we tend to fall into a place of sorrow within ourselves. And what we do is that's where envy and covetousness and anger and bitterness and resentment come from, those people who are on their grind. And we often tend to say they always doing something. They so extra. No, they're extra carefully operating in the position, in the place where they need to be. They have put their hands to the plow and they're not looking back. Understanding what's behind them has nothing to do with what's taking them to the direction of where they're going. So we got to get to that place where we do not allow failure to drag us on the back of the truck. Are we willing to get up? Are we willing to put our 2 feet forward? Are we willing to begin walking again? Are we willing to talk again? Are we willing to speak to our own dreams? Are we willing to do these things? One of the things that I have recognized is that before we even can get to the point of failure, anxious thoughts will cause you to jump off the bridge before you even get to the point of moving. Why are we jumping off the bridge? Because we've already told ourselves what can't happen before we even done anything about what can happen. So we also got to make sure we keep our thought in forward motion. We keep our thoughts healthy. And that's why the word of God tells us to focus on whatever is so good and whatever is so lovely. Because when we focus on those things that are not good, that are not just, that are not right, we beat our own selves down before anybody can come and beat us up. So somebody say, I am not going to fail this year. One of the things that I truly recognize, and this is the truth, we are literally sitting at the date of April the 8th. Somebody tell me, where has the year gone already? This year is moving so fast, and time stands still for no one. Time stands still for no one. So at the beginning of the year, there were things that God gave to you and he told you to do. Are you doing them? Are you staying the course? Or because you put the application and it was rejected, you said, forget it. Maybe that's not the route that he's telling you to go. Maybe he's telling you to go a different route. Are you listening clearly? It's time to get up. A man that don't work, don't eat. What are you working in your vision that you may be able to eat fruitfully? A man that don't work, don't eat. What are you working in your vision right now? What are you working in your business plan? What are you working in your ministry? What are you working in self-confidence? What are you working in building relationships? What are you working in building those teams? If you're ready to do this, I'm ready for you to say, do this. I know that there are some people that joined me in my 52-week No Blind Spot Challenge. If any of you are on the line and this course has helped you in any way, I want you to say, that's me, and you tell them how this course has benefited you. One of the things that I committed to was helping 100 people this year to propel to their next level, understanding that you are your answer. If that was the question, then why wouldn't God give you, why would he give us 5 senses if he didn't want us to use them? Why would he give us visions if we weren't to dream? Why would he give us limbs if we weren't to move? Why would he give us a mind if it wasn't to think? The one thing he did declare for us to do is to acknowledge him in all of our ways and that he would direct the path. But we're not even acknowledging